News at Noon.
Welcome to the Pat Sheranian Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're watching on pat.utahvalleylive.com. Thank you for joining us, and we do have a chat room if you'd like to ask a question or make a comment. Also on KHQN Radio, 1480 AM. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. We look forward to entertaining you and informing you, educating you a little bit, because I have a diamond man next to me, and I grew up believing diamonds were a woman's best friend. Well, at least a girl's best friend. Now I know that it's really true. We can't afford them all the time, but we can certainly enjoy them. And I have really been able to work out over the years some nice arrangements about diamonds and watches and wonderful things with Daniel Broadbent. Good morning.
Good morning, Pat.
Good to have you here.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
We were just talking about when we first met, because it was many years ago at a radio station that was up at the old Osmond building, right?
Yes.
And then you got involved with the Chamber of Commerce.
Uh-huh.
And had fun times through that. I think you were on their board for a while.
Yeah, I did a 3-year term on the board of directors. Enjoyed that, working with a lot of the businesses and trying to kind of help pay back the community and the business community for the great opportunities that I have.
He is a jeweler, and we're going to be talking about the jeweler's bench and about what happens inside of that store and how he got to that place. But we're going to play a couple of commercials for you. And also have a new phone number. The phone number is 801-871-KHQN. Okay, so who knows what that is, but it's 5476, so 871-KHQN, and that'll be the number to get hold of me. Good, there it is up on the screen for our radio audience again, 801-871-KHQN 5476, and we'll be using that number if you need to get hold of me after hours or during that time. It is a cell phone, and it will take a message, and we want to be able to answer you. We'll be right back.
Are you an athlete looking for a natural boost to your workout? Have you studied up on the benefits of nitric oxide production to your performance? Then you'll want to try Kyani's Nitro Extreme. Nitro Extreme promotes cardiovascular health and improved blood flow, supports muscle contraction and relaxation, as well as nerve transmission. I use Nitro Extreme right before I lift weights, and I've never been stronger in my entire life. If you don't try Nitro Extreme, you'll never know what you're missing. Call 801-362-9552 to order yours today. That's 801-362-9552.
I'm back. This is Pat Sheranian, and I want you to know how happy I am to be broadcasting again. Please join me and friends at 12 o'clock noon on KHQN 1480 AM and on the internet, pat.utahvalleylive.com. We talk about religion, politics, local businesses, relationships, and more. Join in the conversation in our chat room with your questions and comments or call 801-362-9552. 801-362-9552. Okay, we're really back in the studio, and thank Kelly King for playing the commercials for us and keeping us on the air. We appreciate her. All right, Daniel. Daniel has brought some diamonds, wonderful things, and I'm always amazed at his very, very fair price because I picked up one of the diamonds here. It's got a rock in it, and I thought, okay, that's $5,000 at least, possibly 10. It's not. Talk to me about this.
Well, that's the price for the mounting. It's got very high-grade diamonds in it. It's a nice low-profile mounting. What a lot of people are looking for is a lower-profile mounting that still looks really good, still shows off nicely. A lot of girls don't want a ring that stands up too high and snags on things.
What was that, the Tiffany setting that was so popular for so many years where it sat up and it caught on everything? But
still, even a lot of styles that are very current are very tall. They have the crown for the main stone is standing up quite tall above the rest of the mounting. But we do a lot of custom jewelry, and a lot of people are looking for a ring that has a very low profile, but still has a really nice, pretty look that shows off the diamonds well and has a lot of good, interesting style to it. The nice thing about a low-profile ring is it's not going to catch and bump into everything when you're
I haven't really thought about
time.
that because it has been a problem. A lot of people from my generation really, it was a Tiffany setting or not. Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's go back and find out who you are and let our listening and viewing audience know who Daniel really is. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Provo, up in the Tree Streets. Dad was a chemistry professor at the Y. And,
I didn't know that.
I was born when Dad was on a sabbatical leave in New Jersey. So I was born in New Jersey, but was only there for a couple months, and then we came back to Provo, and I was raised in Provo, and I went off to apprentice after my mission in San Jose. So I learned the jewelry trade in California and worked out there. Well, I moved out there after my mission and got married and kind of grew roots out there for a while. So
in San Jose?
Yeah. But I eventually got back to Provo, brought the family home. And
what was the interest that, what happens inside of your mind when you say, okay, I'm not going to follow Dad's career, I'm not going to be a professor, not going to, how in the world did you wind up with diamonds?
Well, I was kind of on
my way.
There
had to be a segue in there somewhere.
It was kind of a sudden transition. I was kind of on my way to being, to going into chemistry or physics. And I'd had a class in high school in jewelry arts and had a ton of fun with that. And I thought I would kind of learn a trade to get, to kind of get me through school or whatever, or to fall back on. And I got into jewelry, and that was just a ton of fun. And so I said, I'm going to be a jeweler, and I'm going to pursue that at least till I'm a successful jeweler. And so I found a guy in San Jose that would apprentice me, and it was just a blast. The guy'd have to throw me out of the shop every evening to close up the store because I was having so much fun just working on the bench and making stuff.
Truly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does apprentice do? What do you have to go through? And all I can think of are the diamond mines in South Africa or somewhere. And did you have to learn all of where it comes from and out of the earth?
Well, I learned a lot of the craft, basics in the high school arts class that just kind of introduced me to the basic concept. But then the difference between what you do in an art class and what you actually need to do professionally is quite a bit different.
Seems to be in almost any.
The overview is all the same, but you have to develop a lot of skills and a lot of talents in a lot of different areas to be able to put the jewelry together.
Like?
Well, we start from the very beginning. We would refine our own gold, and then we would alloy the gold to the proper carat, the right color of gold that we needed. We worked with all kinds of colors of gold because we worked in a custom shop.
Okay, so where did he get his metal from?
Well, we would buy fine gold from sources, but we would also have to reuse some of the scrap gold that we would get or scrap gold that people would turn in, and then we would refine that back to 24 karat and then realloy it to what we needed.
Okay, I don't know what that means, so would you tell me what you're saying?
Okay, 24 karat is pure gold.
Well, I know that, but I mean, when you say you're refining it back from something to something,
okay,
if it's 24, it's still 24, isn't it?
14 karat, well, the 24 karat that we would buy, we would use that and alloy that. But when you would buy scrap gold, or when we would use some gold in the shop and it would get dirty and used, we would have to then refine that back to 24 karat, so then we could alloy it back to a known quantity.
Okay, and how did you do that? I feel heat's in here somewhere.
Okay, sure. You take the gold, you take the quantity you need,
okay,
and then you figure out the other alloy metals you need to mix with it to get the carat you need, and then you melt it and mix it together, and then we would pour it into an ingot, draw it into wire, or roll it into sheet, or we would just pour it into water, make it into shot, and the shot we would use to cast.
Wait, what's a shot?
Shot is just the drips or little beads of gold.
Okay.
And then we would melt those and cast them into rings. So.
Well, now I can see where you might be very fascinated with that.
Yeah.
When you just said, I thought.
Now the ring always starts
fascinate me.
as a model.
Okay.
You take a piece of wax and you carve it into the ring shape. You carve it into exactly the shape that the ring is going to be, and then you make.
So I'm looking at these rings. So these
were the stones.
Were these at one time?
Yeah, those were all wax models.
Wax models.
With maybe the exception of this one may have been milled out in a machine.
Now hold that up. If you hold it up, she's going to try and zoom in on this.
A band or something like that would just be milled out with a machine, and then the stones would be set in it. So something like that often would not be cast.
Okay.
As a ring, it would be cast maybe in a tube, and then a machine would cut it out.
what does this have? 3 diamonds? No, it's diamonds.
It has 11 diamonds
11
in it.
diamonds in it. That's beautiful. Yeah. Now, is that a man's ring or can it be a woman?
That's just an anniversary band. It's got 3/4
It fits.
carat.
Can I have it?
Sure.
I want all the ones that fit. Okay, so this is, say it again. This is what?
That's a 3/4 carat anniversary band. It's fairly traditional anniversary band, just a channel set band. Prices on anniversary bands can range very widely, partly because of the weight of the diamonds that go in it, and partly because of the quality of the diamonds that go in it.
Okay, this has 11 diamonds, or 11 diamonds in it. Now, is this price on it for the
That's the price for the mounting and the diamonds that are
and the
in it.
diamonds?
Now, sometimes you'll
I
find
think that's reasonable.
Well, sometimes you'll find them really inexpensive. It's because they've got a lower grade diamond in it. But you see it in the store, it still looks fairly decent because they've got a lot of hot, bright lights on it. But as soon as you get it out in normal lighting, it's just dead because the diamonds aren't very good quality. This one here has got very good quality diamonds, and it will always sparkle and look bright and shiny because the quality of the diamond is
I
so
remember
good.
wearing what you're calling an anniversary ring. You would have an engagement ring, then your diamond, your wedding band, and then this you're calling a anniversary ring.
Correct.
And we called it a guard.
It can be used as a
so
a
you
guard
wear it on
or
the other side of the
yeah, it
wedding
can be used
ring.
as a wedding band, a guard, or just an anniversary band. You can wear it by itself if you want to have a very low profile simple ring. And then you can wear your engagement ring with it as well.
Very nice. All right, let's go back to you're putting all this together. That's really interesting. So that particular kind doesn't need a mold, but then what would?
Virtually all of the other styles will be cast from a wax model. The wax model...
will that fit on your fingers somewhere?
The wax model can be carved.
That is gorgeous.
Or it can also be injected into a rubber mold. You can inject the wax into a rubber mold, and the rubber mold is made from the original ring. The original ring would be cast from the hand-carved model, and then you'd make a rubber mold of it, and then you could inject wax into the rubber mold and make additional models, and then the model is invested in a plaster-like stuff. You pour the plaster-like stuff on it in a steel cylinder, and then you melt the wax out. You put it in an oven, and you burn it out to about 1,350 degrees.
Good grief, there's a lot of work before we ever talk about diamonds.
Yeah, all the residue of the wax burns up, and so it leaves a hole in the investment material that's the shape of the wax model. So then you cast the metal into that, and that takes the form that the wax model was. And then you take all the investment material off of it, you quench it in water, and it crumbles away, and then you scrub it clean, and you soak it in some acid, which is called pickling. And that's actually the term for soaking something in acid is pickling. That's
pickling.
Why a cucumber soaked in
I've
vinegar
heard of people who got pickled.
is pickled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We need to describe this to the radio because it's really 3 rings. It's beautiful.
It's that's a beautiful set. Very popular style these days is these white gold rings with a lot of pave diamonds.
What's a pave diamond?
Pave is French for pave.
Okay.
And that's just the technique of paving the surface of a ring with diamonds. Sometimes it's just one design aspect of the ring would be paved.
Okay, but these aren't called chips then along the side.
These
it's called paving.
These are full cut diamonds.
Oh, they are?
Chips is an old term from when they used to actually use a chip of diamond that would be left over from cutting a diamond. You know, if they would knock off a piece of diamond or something, then that little chip, they would throw a couple of rough facets on it and put it in as a small chip. But nowadays they don't use chips at all. They will put 58 facets on every teeny little diamond, and then you set that diamond right into the gold. You have to drill a little hole and then cut a little seat for it, and then with a steel graver you push little beads, you drive little beads up from the surface of the gold and push that down onto the diamond, and then a little beading tool will round that off into a little teeny bead.
Who in the world knew there was this much going into a band, for goodness sakes?
It's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of work. Now, when you say we, Do you purchase these? Do you create these yourself, or do you do both?
Both. Sometimes we'll purchase a finished ring or a semi-mount, as it's called, that has all of the mounting is all finished except for the main stone. It doesn't have a main stone in it yet. So when a client comes in, we select the right ring that they want, and then we sit down and we look through the diamond, the loose diamond collection, and we find just the right diamond that they want to put in that ring. So you can get exactly the perfect diamond in the perfect ring. So you don't have to go into a store and say, well, that's the ring I like and that's the diamond that happens to be in it. You get to choose the best diamond to go in your favorite ring.
I'm speaking with Daniel Broadbent this morning, and he is the owner of the Jeweler's Bench. It's located at 275 North University Avenue in Provo. I know you've been there for years. I can't remember how many.
We've been there for about 10 and a half years.
Have you? And I know I've been in and out a lot with things that I wanted repair. And but I want to go back to the diamonds. I don't want to quite get off of this yet because I know they're diamonds, and then they're diamonds, and then there's zirconian diamonds, and there are all kinds of diamonds. And what's real and what's not. And because of the economy today, have people really gone more towards the zirconian diamond or the man-made diamond, or we still have people that care about real diamonds?
Well, the cubic zirconia is an imitation diamond. It looks okay when it's clean and when it's new. They aren't nearly as hard as a diamond, and so they'll wear out fairly quickly. When they start to wear, they get frosty and foggy looking. They just don't have a very good presentation when they're worn. And you need to keep them super clean to keep them, bright. Diamonds will look brighter, much better than a cubic zirconia, even when it's dirty. A diamond's always going to look much better when it's clean, and we always love when people bring their jewelry in so we can clean it and brighten it up and make it look its best.
You just did that for a watch for me that is really old. It's a very old watch, and it looks like it's brand new because I had it cleaned. I can't show this because I can't twist my arms quite the right way. I should have taken it off. I will do that. But it's absolutely beautiful. It looks brand new.
Well, thanks, Pat.
And hold that up further so they can see that. Can you see this, Kelly? It's just a gorgeous watch. I bought this almost 25 years ago. And I've worn it a lot, and it had tarnished a little bit, or not tarnished, what's the word I want? It gotten dirty.
Well, it had gotten dirty and a little scratched up and so on, and so it wasn't as bright as it could be. We got it real clean, and we shined it up, and we
put a new battery in.
Yeah, we got the battery replaced and cleaned the works. And
absolutely, it's just gorgeous now, and it's probably worth a lot more than it was when I bought it now. All right, so tell me all the things you do in your shop. You do, I know you do repair work, and when it comes to custom, again, I'm not quite sure what that means. People come in with a drawing, and you try and create that?
It can be a number of things. We have over 1,000 wax models or rubber molds and models of things in the shop.
You do?
Yeah.
Why have I never seen those?
Well, they're in trays. And we have them kind of setting off to the side, so when we need to discuss custom jewelry, we can bring those out, and we can look through all of the models and figure out we kind of narrow down to the design aspects that you want, and we look at those, and then we can take some of the models that we've got and combine some of the different aspects of those, or we can just make some modifications to one of the models to suit your needs. Or we can start from scratch and we can carve up a brand new design that's completely unique.
Is that horribly expensive when you want something custom, Daniel?
It's a little bit more expensive typically than finding something in the showcase, but it's not horribly expensive. I think it's actually quite a good value because you get exactly what you want, not just sort of what you want. And it's very unique.
Good point.
You can have a very unique ring that nobody else has. And that can be worth a lot. To have exactly the ring that you want, the design and style that's all your own, is worth a lot. And I think paying just a little bit extra to do a custom piece like that is money well spent. It's a very good investment because you enjoy that every day of your life.
Talk to me about facets. I know in the zirconia or in the man-made diamonds that certainly they don't have as many facets. They're all man-made, and it's got to be a totally different look. But can you see when you look, or as you've studied this many years, you've been involved, Can you just see a diamond now and you really know kind of the value because of the way it's cut, the shape of it, or does all that go into the cost?
I can evaluate a diamond fairly easily because I've been looking at diamonds for, I've been working with diamonds for over 30 years now. So I know a lot about the stones, having, been grading them, setting them, and just doing all kinds of things with the diamonds. A well-cut diamond sparkles very well, and it really does a nice job to maximize the brilliance and return the most amount of light back out of the diamond. And different cuts can perform well. Some cuts perform poorly, some cuts perform very well, and yet you can have a very different look from two different cuts that perform well, because one may be emphasizing a little more of the white sparkle and another may be emphasizing a little bit more of the colored fiery sparkle.
I want to talk about color. So facets and color. We need to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about color and the difference in color and the cost going along with those differences.
Very good, Pat.
We'll be right back.
Are you an athlete looking for a natural boost to your workout? Have you studied up on the benefits of nitric oxide production to your performance? Then you'll want to try Kyani's Nitro Extreme. Nitro Extreme promotes cardiovascular health and improved blood flow.
Hi, I'm Mary Louise
supports
Zeller,
muscle
an
contraction and
independent distributor
relaxation,
with Kyani.
as well as nerve
in
transmission.
3 years have
I use
achieved
Nitro
the rank
Extreme
of
right
Blue
before I lift
Diamond.
weights.
Let me
and
tell you about one of Kyani's 3 products they call the Triangle of Health. It's called Sunset, Kyani Sunset. It's based on wild Alaskan sockeye salmon, so it's a very, very high quality omega-3 fish oil. And it's guaranteed to be free of toxic chemicals like cadmium, mercury, PCBs, all of which cause cancer. But this is guaranteed to be mercury-free. What makes this product a breakthrough in human health product, though, are the vitamin E tocotrienols that it's preserved by. And these tocotrienols, if you even go to PubMed.gov, Public Medicine, the U.S. National Medical Library online, put in the search box tocotrienols, and you will see that if it's not talking about cardiovascular health, brain health, it's talking about being anti-tumor, anti-cancer. This product is a breakthrough in human health. Hi, I'm Mary Louise Zeller. I'm an independent distributor with Kyani, and I've achieved in 3 years the rank of Blue Diamond. I'm here today to tell you about one of Kyani's 3 products. They have 3 products called the Triangle of Health. This product is Kyani Sunrise. It's a very, very powerful antioxidant based on superfruits. The first, most important one being the wild Alaskan blueberry that has 20 times the antioxidant value of the common blueberry, and that was ranked number 1 of all fruits and vegetables in its antioxidant power. In addition, we've got a rich array of many other superfruits. One of the ones I like is goji, which has 18 essential amino acids, also omega-3s and 6s. It's loaded with liquid vitamins and minerals, all of which are in a form that your body can use wholly. I think this is a leading-edge, best money can buy antioxidant product.
Okay, we're back. Thank you very much for staying with us. I'm talking to Daniel Broadbent. He owns the Jeweler's Bench in downtown Provo at 257?
275.
275. Okay, 275 North University Avenue. And his phone number is?
801-377-6929.
Give it again.
801-377-6929.
If you have a question about jewelry that you own and its value, this is a good man to bring your jewelry into because he certainly can give you a fair price on it. I have been able to do that over the years, and once or twice I thought I had real diamonds and turned out they weren't. And so that's good to know. So we're going to talk a little bit about color and diamonds and their value.
All right. Diamonds can come in a wide range of colors. Most diamonds, though, are in the colorless or white diamonds that you find, or more typically, actually, they would be in a near colorless color grade. Diamonds are graded on a color scale that starts at the color D and goes down the alphabet. DEF is the colorless range, and GHIJ is the near colorless range, and then as you go further down the scale, it's just grading the diamond on how much color saturation there is in the diamond. The vast majority of diamonds are yellow.
Well, I was going to ask, what would be most desirable? Because first off my head, I would think the clearest, so you can see all the facets.
Indeed. Well,
But you're saying yellow diamond?
the more expensive diamonds have the least amount of color in them, unless you're talking about a very fancy colored, a vividly colored fancy diamond. That would be, say, some of the more rare colors like pink or blue, orange, red diamonds. Red diamonds are extremely expensive, as well as good orange diamonds are extremely expensive.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Most diamonds have a teeny bit of yellow to them. It's very common to get a little bit of nitrogen in the crystal structure of the diamond, and when that happens, it gets a little bit of yellow to it. The more nitrogen, the more yellow it is.
Hold that up. He knows how to hold these better than I do, and there are two
This
rings
is a wedding
there.
set here. I'll drop off the
Okay.
tracer band here so you can see that.
Can you see
This
the color? I want to show
This
the
has
color if
a
we can
pink
see it.
diamond in it. This particular diamond is a high-pressure, high-temperature treated diamond. It is not naturally pink. This was probably somewhat of a brown diamond when it was dug out of the ground. Probably from the Argyle mines in Australia.
Really? Okay.
And then it was treated in a diamond press under high pressure and high temperature to change the color of it. That beautiful pink color then resulted from that treatment. It's a very stable color treatment.
This is a beautiful ring, an absolutely beautiful ring. Now, that is sort of a Tiffany setting.
That is a very nice little bead set or pave up the sides of the ring. It's a kind of a little crisscross or twisting design with the main stone in the center. That pink diamond there is really just a little over $2,000, which is a great deal. If it were a natural pink diamond, it would probably be worth well over $100,000.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, but that is a beautiful ring. Looks very expensive.
Yeah, so it's a natural diamond, but
now you say the diamond's
color
that
isn't
much.
natural.
How about the ring, the setting?
The setting here is only $1,100. It's a very very good price on a 14-karat gold white gold mounting, and then it's got a number of small diamonds in the mounting.
So altogether, that set would cost.
Well,
about
the diamond, as I mentioned, is about $2,300. The mounting itself is $1,160.
With tax and so forth.
With tax and so forth, it'd be a little bit more. The tax is pretty reasonable here, and it has about a little over a third of a carat of diamonds all over the side, the side stones on the ring.
But that's a beautiful set. Now, I love the marquee cut.
The marquee cut's a very interesting cut, very distinct
And I'd like to talk
shape.
a little bit about the marquee and the round and the pear-shaped cut.
Uh-huh.
But the marquee cut, I absolutely thought it was gorgeous. I had a ring that was that and had diamonds set next to it, beautiful ring. And then the wedding band fitted around the marquee cut.
Very nice. The marquee cut is a very distinctive cut. It has a lot of style to it. It's been very popular. It became quite popular in the early 90s and stayed very popular up until about 2001, 2002, and then it kind of fell out of favor. The people that liked it then still kind of like it, but the new generation is all going for the princess cut and the round.
Ah, okay.
The round is a classic, timeless shape. The marquee is not very popular these days with the younger crowd.
Any particular reason that you've heard?
It's just a fashion trend. One gets promoted a little bit and really takes off, and the newer generation really grabs hold of that fashion statement and runs with it.
That's fun. Well, I still love the marquee. Now talk a little bit about the pear, because it's the cutting that interests me and the many facets that you can see. And I've always wondered if that had a lot to do with the cost of a diamond, because when you go in, we don't know what we're looking at usually. And if it has a lot of sparkle to it, we think that has more facets. It's a more expensive cut.
Not necessarily more facets, but a better facet angle,
Oh,
better
okay.
proportions to the stone. And typically, a well-proportioned stone yields a little bit less from the original rough crystal. So the less you get from the rough crystal, the more expensive your diamond is going to need to be to cover some of the loss that you had to cut away to make a prettier stone. So the American Round Ideal cut is going to give you the lowest yield. Any departure from that generally is going to yield a little bit more weight in the finished stone. Now, the ideal cut isn't necessarily the prettiest cut, but it is the cut that has a very good balance between the white sparkle and the fiery sparkle. So you've got the scintillation, which is kind of that nice activity going on in the stone.
Okay, I think
either
I know.
the observer or the stone is moving, then you see all that sparkling going on. And that's
Right.
kind of a contrast between where the really bright reflections or refractions are occurring and the darker ones. So if the stone is just generally bright, it won't have a lot of sparkle because you don't have the contrast in that
Okay.
activity. So it won't have the really bright flashes. It's just kind of a generally bright stone. Most people want a little bit more sparkle going on. They want that contrast and that activity, that scintillation that really
Right.
makes it lively.
So you move your hand and just the whole thing
Yeah.
comes alive. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a little bit more crown depth, the crown is like from the girdle, the middle of the stone, the outside diameter,
Right.
on up to the table. If you have a little bit steeper crown angle, then you get more dispersion where you have the color or the light is broken up into the color spectrum, into the rainbow color. So you get all that fiery sparkle going on.
Beautiful.
So you want a good balance between the fiery sparkle and just the white, brilliant sparkle.
This question is completely, it just popped in my mind. We've heard a lot about recently, particularly Elizabeth Taylor's diamonds, and some of these giant, huge diamonds, the carats are just off the scale, and
Yeah.
the cost is ridiculous. Have you ever seen any of those or been around them?
I haven't. I've seen a lot of really nice diamonds, but I haven't ever had a lot of possession of larger diamonds. I've had 11 or 12 carat diamonds and so on, but none of the really huge ones.
What is the largest diamond you've ever heard of that you can think about?
Well, I guess the Cullinan in the crown jewels.
Yeah, they have names, I know.
Yeah, the Wynn is a very new diamond that was recently cut. It was very popular, and that's a gorgeous diamond.
All right, now in your store, which is located, in downtown Provo at 275 North University Avenue, people, when they come and look, they want to look at a lot of things sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And so what kind of, in this day and economy, have you had to cut back, or do you still have a store full of diamonds? I know you sell a few other things also.
We've got a very large inventory of loose diamonds as well as a very big selection of jewelry in the showcases.
Did you bring any loose diamonds with you?
I didn't bring any loose
Okay.
diamonds. Perhaps I should have, but a loose diamond is a really good way to see the diamonds and to be able to evaluate them. You can pick them up and put them in the scope, or just use a hand loop and take a very close look at them. A 10-power loop is a good way to evaluate a diamond and to examine the inclusions and the finer cut details in the stone. Usually, when we show diamonds, we will narrow down kind of to the size or the quality of diamond you're looking for, and we get a number of those out and we lay them all out side by side in a tray. When they're in a tray, then you can evaluate them and compare them one to another and really see the differences in how well they look. If a diamond isn't cut quite as well as it should, then you can see that. Sometimes you can talk about all of the cut angles and the proportions and the table percentage and all that sort of stuff, and make it sound like it's rocket science. But the bottom line is, you want a diamond to sparkle and look pretty. And when you lay some diamonds out and you put them side by side, you can see how good a diamond looks, and particularly compare it to another stone. If you can't compare a diamond to another diamond, you really don't know how much better it looks from another diamond.
I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit. Kids don't know. Young kids getting married, they don't know, most of them. So they go to the mall, and they go into a place that's been around for years, and it's a chain store, and they hire new clerks constantly, and maybe occasionally have a manager that has been there a while. And you compete with that. And here you've got 30 years experience, and this was your passion from being a very young man. And you've stayed with it all these years, and you've seen it, the good, bad, and the ugly. How is the competition today? Because I think people that want value would definitely come to see you.
Yes.
I don't want to go buy a diamond that I don't know what they're telling me, and I don't trust them. I trust you. I've known you a long time. You own your store. You're not going anywhere.
Well, that's the case with most of our clients. They come to us because they trust us, or they are looking for somebody that can help them understand the process and make them feel comfortable with a diamond purchase or a ring purchase that they don't have a lot of understanding about. If you don't know what you're doing, you can be taken advantage of, and a lot of people are a little bit worried about that. I've got the heart of a teacher, and I'm fairly technically oriented. I don't want to take the romance out of it, because really it's all about the romance. But you need to know what you're doing, and you need to be able to make a good decision based on good information. So we sit down with the clients. We show them the details that they want to know about and help them to understand the purchase that they're making. That way they can make a good decision based on good information and know that they're making a very good decision.
Well, that's why you're here, and somebody else isn't, because I do trust what you tell me. I trust your background and your integrity, and having worked with you in several different situations through the Chamber of Commerce. You were on the radio with me once many years ago. That's why I've invited you back as I've started this program. I'm wearing a pinky ring. I don't know if it's a pinky ring, but it looks beautiful on my pinky. So what do you think about that?
Well,
what is that?
That style is very popular these days. That's a very nice engagement ring style. It's got a round main stone, and it's got a little ring of small diamonds around the main stone. That's called a halo.
Where are we? Here we are. Okay, can we get that?
A halo design like that is very popular these days. To put
there.
To put a little bit of accent, sparkle around the main stone, and then having the diamonds going down the sides of the ring.
I could call this a dinner ring also. Pinky ring, a dinner ring. It's a nice gift.
You could.
As well as an engagement ring. It's a beautiful little ring. It's really pretty. Okay, how do you keep all these different stones? This has many stones in it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many, but a lot. And so how do you keep them in their place? They're not glued in for sure.
No. You cut a
Sorry,
seat.
Daniel, I'm breathing something here.
You cut a seat in the gold, and then you set the diamond down in there, and then you push a little gold bead, either anywhere from 2 to 4 little gold beads go on each one of those little teeny diamonds, and that holds them in place very securely.
Wait, what's a bead?
A bead would be just a little round knob of gold, gets pushed onto the edge, just over the top edge of that diamond, to hold it down into the ring.
Okay, and then I've seen things that look like kind of clamps on some of them. The bigger stones, they have a little clamp that
the
comes
main
over.
stone would have prongs.
Prongs,
and,
thank you.
The 4 prongs, usually a main stone is going to have anywhere from 4 to 6 prongs, or usually either 4 or 6 prongs that hold the stone in. And a similar process where you cut a seat that is the right angle to fit the stone, and then you bend the top of that prong down onto the stone, and then you file it back and then buff it and polish it, and then most white gold is rhodium plated. Rhodium is one of the platinum family metals. It's very hard. It electroplates very well.
Do people have
extremely white.
Platinum settings anymore? Or I know they have white, silver, gold, silver, but anybody use platinum anymore?
Yeah, platinum is not quite as common, It's a lot more expensive than white gold, and so most people will lean toward the white gold because it's so much less expensive than platinum.
Will platinum outlast? Because I know that silver wears down. I had one of my grandmother's ring, and it's just a thin little line of silver.
Silver
It's been worn right down to almost nothing.
Sterling silver is a very soft metal. It doesn't wear nearly as well as gold or platinum.
So would white gold be a much better thing, and platinum would be better than that?
Yeah, platinum is actually a fairly soft metal, but it's not brittle. It's a very forgiving metal as far as durability, wear-wise. It won't crack and break, which some white golds will if they're not treated properly. Oxidizers like bleach and stuff can be very damaging to gold, and particularly white gold, because it can oxidize the alloy metals in there. It won't hurt platinum, however. Platinum is alloyed to a very high percentage, usually 90 or 95% platinum, and then the balance of that, say if it's 95, it would have a little bit of cobalt, or another common alloy would be 10% iridium. Iridium is a very expensive
Never
precious
even heard
metal.
that. Wow.
And so you've got virtually 100% precious metal going into a platinum ring, whereas a 14-karat gold ring only has 58.5% gold, and the rest is either base metals and a little bit of silver.
That's interesting, which is going to lead me into the next topic here in a minute. I want to talk about repair, and I want to talk about today, people are bringing, because of the economy, they're selling their jewelry. And you work with those folks and give them a really fair price. Do you happen to know what gold is today?
I didn't check the spot price today. I think yesterday it was $1,607.
That's an ounce, right?
That's per ounce. And an ounce is a fairly small piece. Most people are familiar with a 1 ounce round or a coin. A Krugerrand has an ounce of gold in it. It weighs a little bit more than an ounce because it's actually 22 karat. It has a little bit of copper added to it.
Okay, well, we need to take a commercial break right here, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about repair, and we're going to talk about bringing your gold in to you, and what the value is when they're all get it melted down and how that works.
Very good.
I've gone through that with you and found that very interesting, so we'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to our broadcast. Please do us a favor and take a moment to call, text, or email your friends and family and let them know about this show. We're live on this radio station, KHQN AM 1480, and on UtahValleyLive.com, where this show will be archived for later viewing. Also, Utah Valley Live is seeking additional programming for our growing network, talk shows about religion or politics, how-to shows, and more. Go to UtahValleyLive.com and send us your contact information and the type of show you would like to broadcast. I'm going to tell you how to shake your way to better health. You need to have the whole body vibration machine. You should, because it gives you a no-work workout. This machine works all your muscles for you, and it feels like a full-body massage. Whole body vibration is about 3 things: movement, reaction, and gravity. It increases muscle strength, tones and firms muscles, builds lean muscle mass, improves flexibility and circulation, decreases cellulite, helps back pain, fibromyalgia, and osteoporosis. You stand or sit on the platform of the machine, and it moves you in a seesaw-type motion, bringing your body slightly out of a natural equilibrium. By keeping your body constantly out of balance, your muscles have to work and react, and it feels good. 10 minutes on the whole body vibration machine is like a hard 1-hour workout at the gym. Call for a free demonstration. 801-362-9552. We will bring the machine to you and set it up at your home or office. 801-362-9552. I'm going to tell you how to shake your way to better health. You need to have the whole body vibration machine.
Okay, go. I'm Pat Sheranian. Thank you for watching us. One of these days I'm going to get rid of this, whatever it is in this room that causes me to cough and fog up. My guest today is Daniel Broadbent. He owns the Jeweler's Bench in downtown Provo at 275 University Avenue. Let's give your phone number out again, Daniel.
It's area code 801-377-6929.
6929. 377-6929. All right. He really is the ultimate jeweler. I have lived in California and Southern Cal, and I've been to San Francisco many times over the years, New York, around the country. I enjoy jewelry, and I've had the good experience of having nice jewelry over the years. And I've met a lot of people, a lot of places, but no one that knew it all until I met Daniel. And he really has studied this his whole life, 30 years behind him. He is a person of great integrity. He will tell you the truth about what your diamonds are worth or your watch is worth. He will give you a fair price on the things that you bring in or the things that you're purchasing from him. And I trust it totally, anything that he would tell me about diamonds. And I even tested him one time when I brought a diamond in that I had cleaned, a ring that had really a number of diamonds. And he gave me a better price than anyone else. And I worry about being ripped off because I'm not a jeweler. I feel the same way about cars. But we do have a question that somebody's put up on the screen. How can I know if I'm getting ripped off by jewelers, and how can I know what a fair price is? And that's what I'm talking about. So we're going to hit that just for a minute, and then I want you to talk about repairs, and which is another problem. Are we bringing it to the right place? Yes, if they come to you.
Well, Pat, as far as jewelry, buying jewelry can be a little confusing. Some people have a very difficult time comparing because it's often not apples to apples. There's so many factors that go into the pricing of jewelry. The quality is a huge factor. We always try to carry the finest quality stuff. We do carry a range of things. Not everybody wants a very high-grade diamond. They want to have a little less expensive stone that has a big look. So the preference can be fairly personal, but you always want to make sure you're getting a good value for what you're getting. There's a lot of jewelers will put the real bright lights on and try to obscure the details about the quality of a ring. We like to disclose all of the factors that are involved. We like to have good quality rings that are put together well, so no matter what grade of diamond is put in it, it's going to stay in there and not come out. One of my pet peeves is rings that don't have the crown soldered in properly, and I've seen dozens and dozens of people come in with a ring that's missing the main stone.
Wow.
Where either the prongs bent off when they shouldn't have, or the whole crown broke off because it wasn't soldered in properly. So whenever jewelry comes into us for cleaning or whatever, we like to take a closer look at it and make sure everything's in good condition, that it doesn't need some repair. If it does need repair, we'll point out the difficulties that it has, some of the wear that it has or whatever problems are going on with the ring, and let the customer decide what to do with the ring. And that's, again, like I say, we have the heart of an educator. I want people to understand their
And you
jewelry.
do. I've seen you take hours with people to educate them so they know exactly what they're getting. So that would be one of the answers would be sit down and talk to the person in front of you. If they don't know what they're talking about, then for goodness sakes, come see Daniel Broadbent, for crying out loud. Don't sit with somebody that says, well, I don't know, just trust me that this is a good diamond. Because that isn't true. You need to know who the person is and how long they've been in the business, and that they're going to be fairly fair with you in pricing, whether it's repair, whether it's in your custom design, whether it's in just a standard stone that comes in or standard ring, whatever that might be. But he can take you through the whole process of the color and the mountings. You make it yourself, or he'll take you through the process just like he has this morning. Now, I didn't know most of this, and I'm really grateful for your time that you've come over, just kind of down the street from us.
Wow.
And that you've taken the time to share this, because most of us look at a ring and we don't think about how it got put together and what's in it. And, of course, that all contributes to the value and cost to a person. Now, coming to heirlooms, you also bring in jewelry to repair, but you're now in a position where you're able to help people who maybe it's time to sell some of the jewelry, earrings, watches, necklaces, diamonds, and the bands and so forth, because gold is just over, $1,600 an ounce, which is a pretty darn good price. Now, if that's what it is, and I bring in a bracelet that's gold, has at least an ounce of gold, do I get the full value of that, or how do you have to take a part of that, because you have to do something with it?
Well, there's a lot of factors that go into that. I love to repair nice heirloom pieces so people can keep that heritage in their family. Now, sometimes there are pieces that don't have a lot of sentimental value, and people want to just sell that to turn that into some other value that they want. We can either use that as credit when we sell them some jewelry or make them a piece, or even repair some other pieces. Some people just need to cash out some old jewelry that they don't use anymore and turn that value into something that they can use.
Okay.
There's a lot of outfits out there that are buying scrap gold or used jewelry, estate jewelry or whatever. Most are claiming to pay very high returns, etc. But I've found that a lot of them, most of them, don't give a very good value. Obviously, somebody needs to be able to make a little bit of a profit on it. Otherwise, there's no
Why are they taking
no value
it in?
for them
Right,
to buy it.
right.
But to gouge you, I don't think is appropriate. A guy, for instance, came in the other day with some jewelry that he had sent off to cash for gold, and they sent him a check. They did have a guarantee on it, and he didn't like the amount they sent him. They sent him a check for $25. So he sent the check back and requested his jewelry returned, which he did get. Now, some outfits don't even do that.
They don't send it back.
They say, well, sorry, it doesn't cover, the amount of your jewelry doesn't cover the shipping costs, so we'll just keep it to cover the costs. Fortunately, he got his jewelry back. He brought it into me, and I paid him $170 for what they were paying him $25. And I find that that's often the case. People will, if they shop their jewelry around, they find that I'm paying much better than the pawn shops and the send it off in the mail places and so forth.
But you do have to make a profit. So then I'm going to ask again, if it's $1,600, $1,700 an ounce, and I have an ounce of gold sitting in front of you here, in front of you, at the shop, which is just down the street at 275 North University Avenue in downtown Provo, the Jeweler's Bench. Okay, what part of that can I expect to take home as cash from that sale?
Okay, well, if you bring in several pieces of jewelry, we weigh them, figure out what value is in there. If there are diamonds in there, we factor that in as well. We also will add value if it looks like a nicer antique piece that has some value as a finished piece of jewelry. If it's worn out and just needs to be scrapped, then it's just going to be purchased for the materials. And we factor in all the materials. 14 karat gold is 58.5% gold. The rest of it really doesn't have much value. So we figure in the carat of the gold. If it's 18 karat, it's going to be 75% gold, etc. So we evaluate everything that's in there. We factor in a little percentage of profit that we need, and there's also a little bit of risk as the market shifts around. By law, we have to hold that for 15 days, at least, and we have to report it to a state database in case it was stolen or something, and then we can go ahead and process it.
So if you steal your jewelry, don't bring it in?
That's right. We don't want to see stolen jewelry. Well, in fact, we set up a sting one time. We knew a piece, a girl brought something in, looked fairly suspicious, and so we checked around and found that it was stolen. And so we got the police notified, and they came in and dealt with the situation when she came to pick up the ring that she brought in for repair.
Wow.
So,
you would think that there wouldn't be that much excitement in jewelry.
yeah.
That's interesting. Well, this has been fun to have you today, Daniel, and to talk about these things. So I would recommend, if you have a gold that you're ready to sell, take it into the Jeweler's Bench in downtown Provo at 275 North University Avenue. Have Daniel take a look at it. I did that with some jewelry that it does not have sentimental attachment that I'm not sentimentally attached to. And so then there is this 15-day wait. So if you take it in, you're not going to get your money today.
No, we give you cash right then
on
you
the
do? Spot. Yeah,
okay.
We pay for it right there, but we have to hold it for a while to make sure that the police don't want to see it.
Okay.
We can
Everybody does that?
Yeah, well,
okay.
By law they're
should.
supposed to.
They're
if they don't,
to.
they're not complying with the law.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your being with us today, and we're out of time, but Daniel's going to be running some ads with us, and and you'll be hearing more from him coming in the next year. So if you have jewelry that you want to have appraised, by all means take it to him. If you want some jewelry designed, go and talk to him. He's easy to visit with, as you can see from today's visit. If you have things that need to be repaired, watches, earrings, rings, bracelets, or whatever it is, he'll certainly take a look and give you the best possible price that can be had. That's for sure, and certainly the best work. Thank you for being with us. This is Pat Sheranian wishing you a great day.